Hello and welcome to another Four Feathers weekly recap on the Chicago Blackhawks. I am your host, Jim Kress Jr. Here to recap the Blackhawks' recent efforts from last week, which were grim. In their last two games, Chicago has lost 4-1 to Colorado and 6-2 most recently against Boston. So, in their last two games at home, the Chicago Blackhawks have been outscored 10-3 to two below 500 teams. Now let's take it to the Four Feathers. Basically, the only good news that has to come for the Hawks is the trade deadline is approaching. March 2nd is the trade deadline, so a week from Friday. And the Hawks need help. They really need to find a solid second-line defenseman to pair up with Nicholas Hjalmarsson, or at least to relieve some of the tension between Seabrook, Keith, and Hjalmarsson, who have had to put a lot of weight on their shoulders. Trevor Van Riemsdyk is finally starting to skate again. He will be another person that brings some relief to the Blackhawks, but again, he only skated in 18 games before going down with his lower body injury. He's not going to be the savior that's going to make everything better again. However, he will be some type of help. My yellow feather is going to unfortunately go to Corey Crawford. Now, before his last two games, Corey Crawford was 5-2-1 with a +930 save percentage, but in his last two games he's given up 8 goals against two below 500 teams. Granted, the help in front of him hasn't been great. The defense, starring Michael Roosevelt, is basically on ice at all times when a goal has been given up against Chicago lately. I am cautious about Crawford's play, but I'm not too worried. He is, after all, a reigning All-Star, and he has hoisted a cup for Chicago. He could quite possibly have won a Conn Smythe as well, but Patrick Kane won it in 2013. The red feather, this one is going to hurt. Everything needs to stop immediately. The defense, the offense, the coaching, the lack of competence. The entire team is just falling apart. The offense can't score. They've only managed to score 2.54 goals per game since January 1st, and the defense is giving up way too many shots and way too many scoring chances. The coaching by Joe Quenneville has also been of question lately. He seems to be rearranging all the tables on the deck of the Titanic instead of just abandoning ship and looking for help elsewhere. Stan Bowman does have a lot of high-end prospects waiting in Rockford and have shown their competence at the NHL level, but for whatever reason the leash on those young players is much shorter than the leash on, say, Shaw, Roosevelt, Carcillo, Oduya, Rundblad, and Bickle, and Sharp. That's a long list, and I do not like all the players that are on it currently. A lot of those players can play at a much higher level and need to really show themselves much better. Stan Bowman also needs to get his hands out of his pocket and into his cell phone contact list and call every single below average team for some defensive help. Andrej Sekera comes to mind. Keith Yandel is another defensive player that comes to mind that could bring some help. Of course, salary cap situations are, unfortunately, was put the Hawks in this predicament, but if, say, Bickle or Sharp or Oduya or Shaw or Roosevelt are on the other end of this trade, it could also free up some space for Chicago. For my orange feather, I went with Patrick Kane. He recorded an assist tonight against Boston, but he went with 3 games in a row without a point. That's the longest stretch he's ever gone without a point all season long. Of course, that assist gave him 64 points on the season, and now he is again tied for first place with Nicholas Backstrom. Alright, that's it. That's all I've got for you this week on City on the Take's Four Feathers. Again, I am Jim Kress. You can follow me at Jim Kress Jr. or you can follow City on the Take at City on the Take. Thank you again for watching, and make sure you like us on Facebook and comment and share our articles. Have a good day.